Whoever sees this and subscribes right now, get free Sloppy Joes. You don't even have to listen to his podcast for that. What is going on with Slaughterhouse, man? Feels like I am witnessing the fallout of one of the greatest rap groups in our history, man. It is like a family feud right now. So much he said, she said going around. And of course, as always, it wouldn't be controversy if Eminem wasn't dragged into it. And one of the things I wanted to look at is these allegations that are being made, and that I see people on the internet just so intelligently saying that Eminem is the reason why Slaughterhouse fell apart and split up. And no, you heathens. Get off of mom's iPad. Stop it. It is too late, and I'm going to tell on you for running up her minutes. But we're going to break down some of the truth. We're going to look at both sides. We're going to jump into Eminem's side, give a little bit of the history of this, and then we're going to look at the recent IG scandal that happened. So buckle in, man. This one's dedicated to M, Budden, Slaughterhouse, and everything in between. Let's see it.
You're doing something, you got a voice in hip hop, so you actually could be affecting this ship a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't owe me nothing. But I've never gotten a fucking interview and been like, Joe Budden shit is fucking trash. That last album he put out is fucking trash. Kamikaze is like, all right, what if I give everybody my opinion about them?
I know there's a Glass House album.
This is obviously the big Sway interview with Eminem, and Eminem's talking about the original fallout, right? Joe was signed to Shady. Joe was a member of Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse was under Shady Records. All of a sudden, M drops Revival. Joe goes on his podcast, which is blowing up, and starts to just slam M's album. Now, M talked about this with Snoop when he felt betrayed by it, because at the end of the day, this is kind of like, rap is a competitive sport, and we have teams as well, don't we? You know, you have people that you look out for that are on your team, and at this time, Joe and M, same team, bro. Same team, to quote Eminem. And for Joe to just start wilding out on podcasts, I mean, that type of energy and behavior is kind of wild to me, that he starts trashing M's records and stuff. But Joe knows he's going to get clicks. Joe knows he's going to get more attention. But at what expense is that paid? You know, there are repercussions to your actions. And the repercussions ultimately are the fallout of Slaughterhouse, because Joe choosing to trash M instead of like hitting up M personally, like, yo, I wasn't really feeling it, man. It wasn't, it just wasn't my vibe. It wasn't for me. No, he goes into a public sphere and starts making shit a public issue. So then what does M do? M just being M, of course he's going to fire back. And how does he fire back? In the booth like an MC does. And he's going to make shit a public issue. You made it public, I'm going to respond by making it public. And now we get the air out here on Sway.
What if I give everybody my opinion about them?
I know there's a Glass House album that was pretty much completed but never released, right?
Where we had left it about 2 years ago was everybody came in, and some of the guys in the group picked certain beats. Some of the guys didn't feel those beats, so they liked the other beats. And there was definitely enough songs to put an album out. But for the most part, it wasn't a complete picture because everybody wasn't on the same page of what their favorite songs were. So I thought they were gonna go back home, regroup, and try to make a few more songs. I didn't hear anything from that, and then at that point, I started getting really deep into Revival. I was recording every day. What I was told, I didn't hear this firsthand, but Joe said, Slaughterhouse ain't hot right now. We don't have a buzz. We need to put out a mixtape. From that point, everybody started branching out. Royce went and did his album, Prime. Like, everybody started doing their own kind of solo shit. We made the first Slaughterhouse album.
The Welcome to Our House?
The Welcome to Our House. That was another album that I felt like, holy shit, people literally just trashed this. They trashed this album. There was a huge fucking backlash of, oh man, this ain't what we want to hear. It sounds too polished and all this shit. Like, you're critiquing these guys who are fucking wordsmiths. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a certain type of person that, oh man, I only like the beats. There's a certain type of person that will lean towards lyrics more. There's a certain type of person that will lean towards a voice more. They like better. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody leans towards their own thing, but
And we don't like those people who just like the beats. Don't just eat your veggies around here, kids. We like beef as well. We like the technicals. We like the cadences. We like the lyricism. We like everything. We don't just listen to shit just because it sounds hot because of the beat. because we've heard so much trash lyricism over hot beats. You know what we stand for on this channel. But it's interesting how M puts this. And to give a little bit more context to this, you know, the first album dropped, right? And yeah, it got critically backlash. I think more people appreciate it now because they appreciate the wordsmiths, as M says, and the lyricism and the depth that was on it. But at the time, it was just berated, right? So what did M do? And M has even said this in other interviews. He said, I stepped back from it. You know, maybe we had too much of our fingers on the pulse at Shady with Slaughterhouse. So for Glass House, for the second album that never became, they stepped back. And they're like, right, you guys know how to do what you do. Go get in the booth and go respond. Go make an album that just rises above the critique. Kind of like how M did with Kamikaze, you know, in response to Revival. That was M said, look, the best way to respond to this, go make another album and go do it your way. There you go. I'm going to put hands off. I'm going to let you four lyricists go figure it out. And unfortunately, they never figured it out. And we have a fallout since then. And while they're trying to figure this shit out and trying to get it together, Joe starts popping off at the mouth over Revival. And then the massive fallout happens from that point on. But M, when he's talking about Glass House and, you know, it not coming together, also, you know, you might say, well, shouldn't M bring them together? Shouldn't M make them do this according to this timeline? Because that's what a label does. You know, it gives artists timelines and makes sure that the artist fulfills those timelines, that it meets certain criteria and certain standards, and then pushes it and makes sure that the project gets to the finish line. Yeah, that's true. But remember, M did that with the first album. M wasn't going to do that the second time around because of the backlash that he's talking about. He gave it to them. He put the ball in their court for it.
Like the beats. There's a certain type of person that will lean towards lyrics more. There's a certain type of person that will lean towards a voice more. They like better. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody leans towards their own thing. But only thing I did was added my little touch of, like, sprinkling music in these tracks and mixing them to try to bring out, you know, the production a little bit. But all I heard was the backlash that it was too polished. Yeah. So we said, okay, let's do another album, and then you guys do what you want to do with it. Yeah. I didn't want to touch it in the sense of, like, other than give my opinions on songs, I didn't want to touch it with my production, because I felt like what if that is the reason that they didn't sell albums? I don't want to hinder that. It's a valid point. You know what I'm saying? So we gave him another album, and next thing I know, I hear Joe talking about who got that money, who got what money. Like,
he did say, I saw a clip that he put up, an interview with him and Crooked, that he felt like that maybe, perhaps, like he alluded that you and Paul got majority of the money.
But the album, I hate to say this because I think the guys are super fucking talented, but the album didn't do much to even recoup the first budget. Then we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the second album that never came out. What money didn't you get? I don't know if I made a fucking dime off Slaughterhouse. I don't care if I made nothing. I believed in them, so I wanted them to be huge, man. I really did. I wanted a group that lyrical to fucking just bust through everything.
I mean, it would have been huge. It would have been huge.
It definitely hurt my feelings.
Think about the ramifications for hip hop, man. I mean, you could feel and sense M's passion in this and what he wanted to give the world and what the mainstream needed at the time. I mean, they coulda, woulda, shoulda, man. But why? Why, when you have four great artists, do you have such a fallout? Well, let's look at the recent IG now with Joe and Royce and Ortiz and some of what's been boiling over.
Like, we went and took a bag. Y'all got people saying we out here doing things for a bag. I never done nothing for a bag. Y'all know me better than that. That is exactly. Listen, if anybody's spinning a narrative, it's y'all two, gentlemen.
What narrative?
Especially you, Royce. You out here talking about the 25%. You had 25% and you burned it down. You're doing all types of mathematical equations about fucking housing ownership and shit like that. The bottom line is this. Crooked bring a back.
I did comment on this, and this made me ask Crook the question directly after I saw Royce's post, because Royce was obviously pissed off about them mentioning the Slaughterhouse name, and then Royce feels like, you know, they're using Slaughterhouse to leverage their album and to carry their side of things into market when they're not involving him. So you can see how Royce is upset. You know, I can sit back from this. I can see both sides of the equation on that.
Table for something that y'all ain't been fucking with for a long time, right?
Yeah, but you can't say that. You can't say I haven't been fucking with it for a long time. Why,
Hey, that ain't even the part I got an issue
yeah,
with.
what gives
What you got an issue with?
what gives you the right to tell me what I'm fucking
What
with?
was the
Like,
bet?
that's not fair.
What you got an issue? Listen, how about this? How about this? Y'all tell me what y'all got an issue with and I'll address it. What you got an issue with, Joe?
All of it.
All of what? All of what, Joe? Nah, don't do that. All of what?
I mean, was it past his bedtime? Like, did he not have his bottle before bed or some shit? Like, what is this childish, immature behavior? Literally, there was conflict here, right? And Joel, to his credit, I mean, listen, he's passionate. They're all going to get passionate about this. This hits close to the chest, doesn't it? But I like what Joel does, because right here.
How about this? How about this? Y'all tell me what y'all got an issue with and I'll address it. What you got?
How about this? You tell me what you have an issue with. Well, that's a conversation starter right there. That's something healthy. You know, you guys tell me what is your issue, and then we can address it. Enough of this he said, she said bullshit. Let's get down into it. You know, let's get dirty in the heart of it, right? Let's do that. I respect that from a conversational perspective and from, you know, what could be two opposing sides. And what is Joe's first response, man? Joe could have grievances. He could then take the opportunity to express them, to talk about it. Instead, he throws like a hissy fit. Man, I don't understand. I mean, Tampax must be broken right now on Joe or something right now. There's a lot of just, watch this. Watch
All
this.
of it.
All of it. All of it. You wouldn't let me play on the slide anymore. Big meanie.
All of what?
Look at his face, man. It just, what is that? Then you just walk off like, bro. I got twin daughters, man. They're 3. My 3-year-old daughter, if she has an issue, she will at least sit there and tell me what her issue is. You know, she used to walk off and storm off like that, and I would tell her, "We're not doing this. We're not having this." She's 3, and she gets that. She'll tell me what's wrong. Somebody didn't have that conversation with Joe.
All of what, Joe?
Look at that storm off.
No, don't do that. All of what?
All right, I gotta jump ahead to some more points. Hang on. He comes back. Look at that face, man. Look at that face. Come on, Joe.
No, we ain't. Real clear.
No, y'all playing word semantics. Like, when did the deal get turned down? What are you talking about, man?
You still haven't answered it.
And I want to know what the deal was.
Royce, tell him what.
So this conversation right here, right? And this is what Royce really got hung up with. And it did become a battle of word semantics. Essentially, the deal was brought to the table by Crooked Eye. Royce, Joel, and Crooked were on the phone together, right? And listen, from Crooked and Joel's perspective, they took it as, you know, Royce didn't want to be a part of the deal because he wanted Budden a part of it. Well, Budden was retired. Budden said he's not rapping anymore. Budden said he's done. Royce essentially is saying, unless Budden raps, I'm not doing it. And now Royce's whole IG Live gets caught up going, did I ever say no to the deal? Did I ever say no? Well, you don't have to say no, but there's ways to imply no to something. You know? You're making it a moot point, essentially. You might as well just say no if you say you're not rapping without Joe, and Joe's retired, and Joe has made it crystal clear that he's not coming back. That is just an indirect-ass way of just basically saying, no, we're not doing the project. At the end of the day, facts are the facts. It's been 10 years since the last Slaughterhouse album. If all 4 of them really wanted to bring this across the finish line, they would have sat down together. They would have brought it across the finish line. So obviously there's a fallout somewhere. Is Royce dropping dope solo albums? Yeah, maybe he doesn't have that same motivation as some of the others because, you know, he's really getting a lot of limelight. Maybe Budden's really enjoying his podcast and he's getting the bag from that. But at the end of the day, it is pretty silly how a lot of this conversation goes. And that's why I've kind of skipped it because it's just, it really is like 10, 15 minutes of just, did I ever say no? Did I say no? And it's like lawyering up right now and getting caught in semantics amongst people who are supposed to be friends, who are supposed to be, you know, business partners at one point, group members on the same team. And we're just going to get caught on, did I explicitly say no? Even though essentially all of my actions, all of my intentions, everything else that I've done has made you believe, and well so, that I just don't want to finish another Slaughterhouse album because Joe Budden's not doing it. And that's it. I'm out. Essentially, it's like saying I'm out. He's not in it. I'm out. I'm not running it.
And I want to know what the deal was.
Royce, tell him what the deal was.
Y'all Crook came to the table and said Tony was putting the situation on the table through a major where he talked about the amount that the advances would be, and that was as far as we got.
Right.
Right. Joe wanted to know more. Joe wanted to know about more than just the advances, but what would the terms of the deal be? The terms of the deal never even.
What is Joe doing right now with his hand? It's like Ricky Bobby, man. I don't know what to do with my hands. Does this man just think like he's an influencer now, so everything he has to do, like he has to overreact and just make himself a meme so other people are going to respond to it?
To a piece of paper, to a deal memo. And all Joe did was ask questions, but never did either one of us say, no, we're not doing it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Y'all both lying, man. Y'all both lying, man.
Well, I'm
Yo,
rich.
this is insane to me. Why y'all both lying, man?
I get nothing out of lying about this show.
Of course you do. You wouldn't even be talking about this if you ain't feel you
It's just
had
a case,
to, bro.
yeah.
It's on your
All right, see,
bro.
wait. Let me make myself clear.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm bigger than whatever y'all doing.
Oh,
No.
according to who?
Me.
All right, that's cool. So am I. I'm bigger than everything y'all doing.
How can anyone have a conversation? How can we have a proper conversation if you're just going to come into it just trying to show how big your dick is compared to everyone else? I'm bigger than everything y'all are doing. No, that is not going to lead to any type of compromise. That's not going to lead to any type of understanding. That type of energy is, I'm going to make everything about me. You see the way that Joe is acting and behaving, the way that his responses are. Can you understand why there was a fallout with the Shady camp? Can you maybe start to think of, you know the saying, if there's smoke, fire's going to be nearby? Rory and Mal situation. It's been quite a few fallouts. Joe and Shady. Seems to be a lot of people that fall out who were close with Joe or involved with him or working with him. At what point do you step back and go, maybe I'm the problem? Maybe I am the issue. And behavior like this does not help. This does not lead to productive business, productive friendships. This is not healthy for people. Like when you come with this type of energy and vibe, and this is the danger, I guess, with rap. Because listen, we all have pride. We all have to believe that we're the best MC out there, that we're the best at what we do. I mean, that's rap. It's a competitive sport. That's fine. I appreciate that energy. When other rappers say that, I don't get pissed off. And if I do feel a type of way, now I don't sit there and troll it and talk about it. I go get in the fucking booth and I go show what I can do, right? So I get that. There's a lot of times versus dealing with like other genres where they don't have to deal necessarily with pride as much. There's so much pride involved with rap, and a lot of us are solo artists, aren't we? All four of them in Slaughterhouse are solo artists. So they've been taught and trained throughout their careers to look out for themselves. So I get that. And it's just unfortunate because it seems to me there's a lot of Royce doesn't want to look bad. You know, Royce is getting hung up on semantics. I mean, come on, let's get past the semantics and have a real conversation, you know? But, you know, Royce is looking out for himself, protecting his interests. Joe obviously feels a certain way. He feels like he's bigger than this. He doesn't understand why he's being dragged through it. You could see the narcissism on Joe, but there's a lot of pride there too. And even Joell has pride as well. And all of them, I feel like, are so prideful and they so want to get their truths out and their points across that it's a shame that none of them can cut across the table and really come together on this, man. And again, it is one of the dangers of raps, and I think that's why we don't see too many like rap groups or super groups really thrive or come together, because we are individualist type of artists, man. And that's just the game.
I'm not responding to this because I feel pressured by your fake boosted fucking numbers, nigga.
Fake boosted numbers? Get the fuck out of here, man. You mad?
Come on, now we're just gonna attack.
Son, you mad? You see niggas is in that inbox. Niggas is in that inbox bothering you.
I promise you they're not, yo. It's Cobb. And that's the problem. Like, we're not looking at things the same, yo. Joel, you're wrong about some of the stuff you're saying, yo. You're wrong about what you're saying. And I understand you niggas is doing whatever y'all got to do. But to do it at the expense of people that you have spent that much time with, it just looks away. It does. And I don't.
Joe, you realize how you making this about you?
Let me finish.
How you making this about you? This is how much you feel yourself that you making this about you. Listen, Slaughterhouse is just as much my story as it's your story, as it's Crook's story, as it's Roy's story.
Absolutely.
Me and Crook are telling what it is on our side. This is not about
That's
you.
fair.
You're involved because you're part of the brand, just like Royce is. This is not about you. If you want to defend yourself,
Joel,
listen, hold on. If you want to defend yourself, or speak your truth, you know how to get to it. You've been doing this a long time. It's not on the podcast.
If you want to speak your truth, you know how to get to. You know what he's saying? Get back in the fucking booth.
Huh?
If you're an MC and you really need to talk, go get in the booth and talk through the music.
I'm involved because y'all hurt. I was hurt, and y'all hurt somebody that I care about, and y'all was silly enough to name your shit something to where, hey, 25% of that is mine if I feel like pursuing it. That's why I'm involved. I'm not involved in this fucking clown show because I want to be. Are you fucking shitting me? I got a girl to call back right now. It's 11:15. I'm in a strip club in a minute. You think I'm trying to be involved in this nasty ass shit that you and this niggas doing? Y'all look disgusting.
This clown show. Y'all are disgusting. This nasty ass stuff y'all are doing. You see what's happening here? You see the attack. I mean, it's how can you work logically with someone like Joe Budden? I mean, the man is just, I think Joe got the bag and he just has a totally different worldview of how things work. And really everything just revolves around this man's world. And to him, he is the center of everything. And as a group, you can't thrive like that, can you?
Why y'all on the live? Why y'all on the live?
I don't even want that for you.
Why y'all on the
Oh,
live?
just gonna make it about you.
Wait, let me say what I'm saying. I love you so much, nigga. I don't even want this nasty fuck shit for you.
I love you so much, but I'm gonna call you every name I can, and I'm gonna come at you in this aggressive ass way. Now I'm gonna flip and I'm gonna get passive aggressive.
But if y'all spin that, we needed a bag and we did it for them. So good, man.
No, I mean, this is, hang on, we gotta fast forward. I got a couple more notes I want to get to. Where we at?
Joe didn't want no part of a mess. At some point, you know better, you do better. I said
now, hold up. Now you speaking truth. Continue. Go ahead.
What I said to y'all was very simple. Yo, I'm not doing nothing while we over there. Hey, and over there made themselves clear too. Yo, we don't want nothing to do with Joe.
That's the shady fallout.
That was ages ago, Quick. That was 2000 and whatever year that was.
Yeah, and y'all fell out, okay? Y'all fell out. But guess what? Y'all band together. Y'all got off the label. And where's the new album? Where is it? At the end of the day, you can't. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Crook, Royce, Joell, Joe, all of them say. The plain and simple facts are, if you are a fan of Slaughterhouse, you have been massively let down in the past decade. You have been let down. And that's it. Nobody can argue that point. And it feels like a lot of finger pointing and a lot of blaming just to try to get there, doesn't it? It's frustrating. It really is, because they're all such great lyricists, and it really is something that could be so good in today's game right now. Hang on, we're gonna jump ahead towards this bit right here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, and
Joe,
but you decide.
What the fuck? Listen to me. What the fuck was gonna happen that didn't happen? What was about to happen that we fucked up in this year? Honestly, we've been off the label for a year. What did me and Crook, speaking our truth,
I'm done, yo.
fuck up in this last year that we didn't get to? While you was over potting and Royce was doing what he was doing. What happened? What did I miss? What was the big fuck up? I want to know how this got twisted up.
Joel, I love you, and I want nothing but the best for you.
So then, nigga, listen to the album, then. That's it. Fuck with the album, bro. Fuck with the album, bro. Fuck with the album. If you want nothing but fuck with the album, man. Tell people to listen to the album, son.
Joel, that album could suck my dick. Are you kidding me?
Nigga, suck my dick. Don't go there. Don't do that.
You want me to put people to this clown show?
All right, I'm out, man. All right, one.
The fuck out of here with that shit, man. So,
you know, yo, Joe, that little comment right there, you're going to wish you retracted that one. I'm out. One.
Goodbye.
I mean, there was even a moment I felt like Joell was trying to offer an olive branch almost. Like, you know, if you really do love me, okay, then just fuck with the album. That's it. And that could possibly be the step taken towards building a bridge between the two. You know, just go listen to the album, and then maybe let's go talk about it privately afterwards. But instead, man, there was no quarter with Joe. Like, Joe is just so focused on making his points and making sure that he is heard. And maybe this is years from being a podcast host and being the center of attention, but you know, he just makes it all about himself again. And then he goes, that album can suck my dick, as if we've never heard that one before used throughout the history of humankind. But how is that, man? You know, I'm baffled by it. Honestly, I feel what Joell is saying. I mean, Royce has just sat there though. Everybody's like, oh, Royce is so cool, calm, and collected. But I mean, that shit just went. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. It's a shame. Slaughterhouse, Eminem. Don't go blaming Eminem. There's only one person that can be blamed in this situation right now, and they need to all get their shit together and make it about the music. And if Joe has a problem, get back in the fucking booth.